All right, everybody, we're live again. Just fired up the stream. Did the first live stream earlier today. Had a great day. Made about $900 shorting silver. And I'm seeing another potential short opportunity here for silver. So I want to fire the live stream back up. You can see we've got silver on the screen. Just checking the live stream connections. Everything looks good here. That's great. So you can see here, we're up into, this is the daily silver chart. We're up into our resistance pocket here. A lot of resistance up here on silver. We've tagged the extension trend line way up here. Beautiful flash pattern. This is setting up for a very nice short. I'm highly tempted to go short. Set an order now right up in here. Usually I wait for the hourly to close, but this one is just looking so good. It's probably going to sell off a lot heading into the close of the hour here in about, we've got about 18 minutes to go until this closes at 11 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, I should have had an order just sitting up here, but when I saw this, I said I got to go live again and see if we can't get another trade. So we'll give it our best shot. And let's quickly, while this is setting up here on silver, we can see the indices are rallying nicely. I'm not interested in taking any action on these right now. Bonds are really pushing higher here. The 30-year also. So everything's reversing out of the support levels off of that non-farm payrolls number. I covered that in the first live stream. So when that's up, published on YouTube, go watch that video. Some really good stuff in there about trading non-farm payrolls. Quickly look at gold. Gold is also, setting up. Gold will probably, I think, for those of you who want to short gold, I'm going to look for shorting silver. But up in here, you got a lot of resistance there. 2076 on gold. Nice little flash pattern setting up here. But silver's the one I really like. You can already see, that's a good sign heading into the 11 o'clock hour that there's already some good selling coming in. This has been my key level for the week up here, 2360, 2370. Now the hardest part about this one, I have a feeling, is just like our trade from earlier where we shorted silver here. Shorted right there after NFP. 2 contracts, had an average price of 26 and covered here at the lows. Live in real time because we were at the weekly point of control. I could see some support coming in there. So that was the trade from just after NFP. Good trade. Happy about that. Might be done for the day, but since I'm seeing silver set up a potential short here, I wanted to see if it's going to set up and maybe give me one more trade for the day. The hard part I was going to say about this trade is that this is really the area you want to get this, right? So now that it's selling off like this, it's tough to take it down here at, let's say, 23. We'll see where this closes, right? But it's tough to take it down here at 23.54 because then your stop has to go way up here. So, but then if you set an order up here, it may not get filled. So these are kind of the tricky ones, right? So I like the ones that, kind of close near the high of the bar and give that opportunity to get short. So let's just see where silver closes here in about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and look at the, normally I don't use the 15-minute chart, but we'll take a look at let's look at the 10-minute chart for some confirmation. Yeah, you can already see 10-minute chart, huge exhaust. We're already rolling over. I mean, this thing is we're getting back inside the value area for the daily. So now anywhere up here, I want to get short. But the hard part with this now, look, just selling off, going for congestion entrance down, probably going to just, head straight back down here on silver is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to try and short it for sure. The question is, where do I put my order? Always the $1 million question. So I'm going to set an order right now to short one contract of silver, up in here around 65. I'll set that right now. Now let's just do, I'm going to put my one contract on. Let's just do 64.5. I'm setting at 64.5, which is basically right there. We got one order to short silver at 64.5. The stop mentally is about 10 cents up above that high. I don't put a stop in, but mentally that's where my stop is. And if I short 64 and a half, if I don't get filled there, I'll have to make a decision if I want to chase this down at market. I saw this developing as I was preparing for this live stream. I thought I need to hit the bid right now. I usually wait for the hour to close, right? Which is, and then sometimes this happens, but sometimes the trades are so good, you got to get in, you know, when it's up there, right at that key level. So now I got to make a decision on where to get in, but definitely setting up a really powerful short opportunity here. So we'll wait and see. We got the order in at 64 and a half. That order is in. Let's just see what happens. And yeah, we had a long also on soybean oil. I closed that with about a $30 profit, which was good because I got long. Show you this here, and all this is in the first live stream, so you can go watch that. So I got long soybean oil right here at about 94 on the close of this bar, but I could see soybeans and soybean meal kind of pushing up and leaking lower. So I just closed this one here with about a $30 gain. It was basically a break even, but it was plus 30. And I closed it because I thought, this doesn't really look right. And I'm happy I did. So that was that. Those were the two trades of the day. Good trades. And now we're just kind of waiting to see if silver will come back for us. Check something else. Check another level. Oops. Wrong button. Yeah, 61, 62 is where you've got a lot of resistance as well. So I'm going to have to move this down. All right, moving the order to short at 61. Got about 10 minutes left until this closes. So these are tough when it does this. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so I got this order in. So I'm going to leave this order here for now. I got to go upstairs and check on the family real quick, but the order is in at 61 to short silver. Remember, mental stop here, and I'll be back in just a moment. I'll leave the stream running, but I'm just going to cut the webcam while I go check on something. All right, guys, I'm back. Still got the order to get short at 61. Hasn't gotten filled. Had to deal with my 4-year-old little girl who, at this time of the day here in Sweden, she's very tired, gets home from preschool, and she throws a lot of tantrums. And we're trying to teach her boundaries, but it's not the easiest thing in the world for those of you who have toddlers. All right, so we're waiting to see if we can get short some silver up here. Right now the order is at 61. Stretch the neck a little bit. As I mentioned, I wish I had seen this a little earlier. I definitely would have been all over this up here at about 67, 68. Just a beautiful spot to get short up there, right in my daily resistance zone. We're at some key weekly, monthly levels. Now, with all this said, that doesn't mean that this trade has to work. Obviously not. The outcome of any trade is still 50-50, even though we have a good edge and we let the edge play out over time. But as good as this trade looks, remember, anything can lose at any time. You have to be prepared for that. It's just that this one looks to have a pretty good probability. So I'm going to go ahead and try and short it. That's why I've got the order in at 23.61. And as I've been saying, if it doesn't get up there and fill my order, I'm going to have to make a decision on where to get in. And it's tough when sometimes with these, if it closes down here, if you get in at market sometimes and it goes back up here, it's not a fun situation to be in. Or if you don't get in market and you leave your order there, oftentimes it'll just go like that. And so this is the reality of trading, the fun part. Anyways, I think in this case, this is an over 20% range right here for silver, which is big, right? That's $1,000 per contract. That's a big range for silver. So my stop needs to be behind this high here for sure. Even though I don't use a stop, it's a mental stop up in here. So I can't chase it down here. That's just too much. So I'm just going to leave the order at 61 for now and hope that gets filled. That's all I can do. If it doesn't get filled, it doesn't get filled. But this is the trade this is the one I want. So we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead while we're waiting for that. The order's in. We've got 4 minutes until 11 a.m. Eastern, which is when these trades are going to set up. ES, pushing higher, but not interested in this right now. NASDAQ, also pushing higher. Not interested in this right now. You're going to have some resistance up here on the Dow, I think, as you head into 37,920. I'm not as pumped about shorting the indices right now, just because this reversal we saw at a non-farm payrolls, they may want to finish strong today and set up the short for Monday. I'm not really sure, so just kind of exercising a little bit of caution here with the indices. Let's check out bonds. Same thing with bonds. You're getting a nice little, this could be a nice exhaust here for a short on bonds for sure. But again, we've really come out of such a reversal. It's tough to short against that reversal. Silver I like a lot better. It's a lot more overextended. I mean, look at silver now just dropping. I don't think we're going to get our opportunity. I don't think it's going to fill. We're at 49 now. Oh, silver's the one I wanted. But let's go ahead and look at the bonds. I mean, they'll follow silver. You get the ultra bond there. They're all kind of coming up off those highs. But silver is definitely the one. It's in the best weekly zone when I'm looking at some of my other charts here. That's why I like it the best. But that's the one I want. I think gold's setting up a nice short here now. Probably not going to get up to that 2076 level I mentioned. The question with silver, if we do, I mean, if we short here now, the stop is going to have to go kind of in here in no man's land here. Let's go ahead and look at the 10-minute chart again. Yeah, you see, this is just, you just don't know if you're going to get that pop up or not. Anywhere, I think it's probably just going to be one of these reversals like this, kind of like this. See, up and then just, that's it, just goes down. So I think that's probably what is happening right now with silver. Let's go ahead and bring up our hourly chart here again. And the question then is, so we've got about 45 seconds until this closes. I'll try and get short at 56, 55, just right in here. I'm going to try and get short at 55. And unfortunately, my mental stop now is up around here, 64, 65. I mean, if the trade is right, it shouldn't go back up there. So the short in at 55. Here's the 11 o'clock close. Gold is also looking probably like a good short. I mean, unless these are going to rally for the rest of the day, but I just can't imagine that. Especially with where we are with the weekly structure for silver. I think it's probably just going to pick up that true average right there and just head south like this. But it's so hard to short it down here unless I'm willing to use a 10-cent stop here. Try and get in at like 52. Just in here, and then that's kind of the resistance level that needs to hold if this trade is going to be correct. Again, these are just tough when it reverses that much out of your zone, because then you got to kind of chase. I still like the trade a lot. I'm trying to get short at 52. Platinum's got a nice short pattern there. All the metals do. Gold looks really good for a short right there. The bonds are, you know, kind of confirming. Now, it doesn't mean these things aren't going to all go higher the rest of the day. They might. But, you know, there's a lot of resistance up in here. The question is, you know, maybe I want to put my short back here. This is tough. Glad you guys get to see this in real time. Let's go ahead and look at that. This is kind of the area here. 2350 that I think should be very, very strong resistance now. But I really would have preferred this to be able to get short up in here. I mean, perhaps it'll push higher. Back up to 60s would be more acceptable. Set the order at 59. If we got up there, that I would be willing to take the short there, because then my stop is reasonable. So let's see what happens. The order now to short is at 59. I would say there's a really good chance it'll just turn right here, but if I short here at 49 and it goes to 59, it's still in a good spot, and then all of a sudden I'm down $500. You know, it's not a great position to be in. It's okay if you're trading longer term, right? But I'm trading with, you know, trying to be pretty precise on my entries and stops and everything. And the way that we reversed out of all this, you know, it's a tricky day. I think a lot of people have gotten killed today. We've done very well, up, you know, 900 so far. Don't necessarily want to, you know, make a stupid trade, but you got to find this balance, right? Because this is also a really good setup. There's gold. I think gold's a good short right there. Gold's stronger on the weekly. It's holding up better. Silver is the one that's a little bit weaker on the weekly chart. Just looking over at that. There's copper. Here's platinum. Platinum looks weak, but I'd like it to be, it's a better short. higher up. Let's look at crude. Yeah, crude, probably a nice pullback trade there on crude. We're heading higher, trend run up, pullback. It's just not really in a desirable weekly zone for me, but probably a decent buy there on crude, I would imagine. Nat gas, not going to take that. We got shaken on the dollar. Here's the euro, also setting up a nice little reversal pattern for the dollar to get stronger again. See, all these are correlated, right? With silver. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel my order here in silver. I don't think we're going to get filled. You can see we're dropping a little. I can't chase it. But all these are correlated. You can see with the bonds, with silver, with gold, with the dollar. So I think they're all going to reverse back down. The thing is, I don't know how far they're going to go the rest of the day. This is, if you look at this, I'm probably going to be, you know, had I been able to get short up here with silver, you know, into that 61, 62 level, that'd be fantastic. And the reason I'm not being super aggressive right now, you know, certain situations, I'll just short this right here at market because I have a lot of confidence that it's just going to drop. But right now, if you look across the board, you got a pretty wild day on the back of this NFP number. This is where you have probably a lot of resistance on stocks. We'd have to go a little higher on stocks. That's the thing too, if the NASDAQ continues levitating, you know, it might pull silver up with us. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm just going to be a little, here's the Dow. Just going to be a little patient at this moment. Here is the Russell. Here's the 10-year. $30-year. I think all these are good shorts right here. The 30-year, Ultra. But we're not in a good enough weekly zone for me on these right now. Silver is the one that, wow, I should have just set an order there when I saw it kind of pushing up there. I thought, I just wasn't in front of the computer. So question is, jump on board now and put a stop here. It's kind of tough. I mean, we're getting some nice reaction now. I think 50 should be strong resistance. More willing to short. I see now it's just dropping. I should have probably shorted right there. Let's see, I'll try and short 40, 48. Because it looks to me now, if I short 48, I mean, the stop area now is moving to here. It really, you know, that I'm limiting my risk on the trade. It's still, I'm not crazy about it. But this is just such a good resistance level up here on silver right now. This is the trade we want. If it gets filled at 48, we'll take it. That's where I've got the order right now. Willing to risk a little bit on this. It may not get back up there. Too much of a delay thinking about it. This is what silver does too. It's just similar to bonds. You know, it'll just, it's not like the indices that'll, I mean, the indices are more wild. Sometimes they'll come back and fill you. Silver and bonds, when they get going usually. We'll see. The order is to short 48. Ryan. Bid 47, bid 46.5. See if it can jump. All right, we're short from 48. See, now I'd like to see selling come in here. This is a tough trade. I love the trade. The entry on this is quite difficult. The pattern is nice and it's in a great area. But I'd really like to see some selling come in now and drive this down. Okay, that's a good sign. We're short from 48. Let's see now if we can get a nice drop to the downside. See if this thing can go. These are difficult because I really want to be short from, you know, way up here and now I'm shorting from here, so you always second guess yourself when you're chasing. At least I do. Not easy. So we were just down to 46 and it got picked up again, which I don't like. Gold is still holding there, which is a good sign, but we need it to hold. Pushing a little higher now. Bonds are pushing higher. That's not a good sign. This is what can happen. This is the tough part right here. This is what can happen. We're short from 48. Right now we're only down a few cents. But I don't like... This is what I was a little worried about. Equities are pushing higher. I thought that would happen. Bonds are trying to push higher. Gold's trying to push higher. This could be one of these nasty little squeezes. Not feeling... not going to give this too much room. I love the trade overall. But this is the kind of pattern where this should respect this resistance right in this area and head down if that's what it's going to do. Right now, I don't like being off sides by 4 cents. Question is, do I want to hold this? Do I want to put my stop back here and risk my profit for the day and hold this to the end of the day? I don't know. Might have to. Just looking at my other charts here. Because it's, even though it's going against me now and I'm not nuts about that, it's just so hard to, you know, I like the trade overall a lot. But I'm definitely not liking this. These big reversals like this are very dangerous. I think they're just short squeezing everybody before next week. I'd like some sellers to come in here. I mean, overall, I mean, all these markets, they look good for a short, except for the fact that we have a huge non-farm payroll reversal. That's, that's the only thing that's just making me nervous. Let's see what the 10-minute looks like. Still short. Down a little bit, just thinking through. This is what I didn't want to see. I mean, I would say with the 15-minute like that, just pulling back right there, that's nice. I would like to see it start dropping now again. I think I'm just going to have to sit through this. I just like this trade. But who knows, maybe silver wants to close 23.90 today, I don't know. We'll see. This is what makes trading fun. Curious to read why this is happening on that. Really like to see some selling coming in here now. You can see this is the value area here on the daily. They might have just been going back up to retest that area. I probably should have set an order up here instead, then I wouldn't really be as offsides. I think that might be an error on my part. Should have thought a little bit more through the entry, I think. But I'm just going to sit through this for now, you guys. So we'll just leave this on and see what happens. I'm only short one, because if it goes way back up here, I'd probably throw on a second. Believe me, I was pretty tempted to throw on a second here, but it's too early. Because if it goes way back here, at least I could throw on a second and raise my cost to here, which would be better. But we'll see. We're short from 48. I'd like this just to be a little bit of a temporary pullback here, and for this to continue to trend back down. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that this could head back down here, even if it is going to go higher the rest of the day. There's a lot of resistance here, so let's see what happens, you guys. This is trading. Just going to leave it for now. Let's go ahead and this is the 15-minute chart. Remember, usually I use the hourly, but we'll leave this for now. Let's go ahead and see what Zero Hedge has to say about everything. Yeah, there's a lot underneath these numbers. Just reading this article here. Yeah, so Zero Hedge is saying that even though people are focusing on the strong headline number from the NFP 216,000, which dents the Fed's case for a March rate cut, and far stronger than expected hourly earnings. Okay, that's Good. So saying that was my take on the number, that it makes the case for cutting rates, not as strong, right? Which is why I love the technical resistance we're at right now with silver. And I also, I don't think the Fed is going to start cutting as soon as everybody thinks. I think that all that's built in is going to have to be repriced lower. So, all right, at least we're dropping a little now. See if we can get a snap to the downside would be nice. Oh, you can see there, it's trying. Let's take out these lows would be nice. I'm learning how to trade and live stream at the same time. It's not easy. I feel like we should at least test down to 40, but who knows? I really want to see some selling come in. I want to see these sellers get aggressive here. Some support coming in here again. But gold's trying to push lower. Bonds are trying to push lower. For me, the hardest part is now that I'm just knowing how my entry was pretty poor on this trade. I'm short from 48. I don't like the entry overall, especially consider where I want to be short from here, or had I waited from the pullback here. So oftentimes on these types of trades, when I'm up a little bit and I don't really like my entry, I'll just pull it. But I don't really want to pull it yet on this trade because it does have a chance to drop. I'd like to see it start chewing through these lows. Might pull it soon. I don't like all the support that I'm seeing here. We're still in for now. Yeah, I see that jumped up there. Getting a little jumpy here. I'm still in, but I'd like this to crack down. All right, I'm going to close it, guys, at 46. I closed it with 2 cents. I think this is going to drop, you guys. I really do. Hey, I added another $100 to my gain for the day, which is nice. But I think this is going to drop, and probably I should have held it. But I'm just the kind of trader where I always base things on my risk, and I really should be in from up here somewhere. And the fact that I'm in from here, even though I do think it's going to go here, I don't like being in from the middle of the range. I just don't. That's how I am. So I think this is probably going to drop. I think the analysis is definitely solid. I kind of missed it, to be honest, because if we go back to the hourly here, so we're out, we're flat, made another $100, not bad, could have been worse. But here, and I'm probably going to be done for the day now. We're heading into 11:30, but here you can see, go back to the hourly. So really, I think this is going to drop now, and I'll probably look at it at the end of the day and go, oh, I should have held my short. But the way I like to manage risk, because I don't have a huge account, right? So I like to keep my risk tight. I don't want to get blown out. And I know the prime spot, I'm looking at my other charts here, the prime spot to be short is up here, you know, 65-ish, you know, that's the zone. And so now that's a real easy trade to just move your stop to break even now and just let this thing work, which I think it's going to work. But for me, being short here from 48, I think there's a low chance it'll go back up there. But even just sitting through that, I was thinking, now if this goes all the way back up here, I'm going to be that underwater on that position when I should be short from here. So, you know, I think we're going to drop, but I got to live with this decision. This is good. You guys get to see the live trading, you know, in real time, calling out the levels. But what you can see using Owings market analysis is that, you know, the levels, you know, they're good levels. You know, we pick our spots carefully and plan out our trades using the analysis. And there are days when you just got to look at the charts and say, you know what, I'm going to walk away for today. And today's one of those days. I made about $1,000 in the day. I'm happy with that, especially given, you know, this crazy reversal in the indices here. I mean, this is a lot of people, I think, are, I'm going to have some fun checking some of the other channels and see how people did today. But I'm happy with my day, planned out the trades, made some money on silver, and you know, we'll come back at it Monday. And we got the live streaming going now, which is cool. So now we just got to get some subscribers and have some fun. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. I'll be back with the pre-market forecast on Monday morning, and we'll do some more live streaming again on Monday. Cheers.